All right, hey people, Russ Jensen. So just about noon on the 18th day, or I mean the 13th day of January 2017. You know, I want to apologize again a little bit too for my last little posting yesterday. Got a little emotional, upset. Part of the reason was I have a close friend of mine. I just was talking with me just prior to me making that, and had informed me that they had been diagnosed with one of these awful diseases. Okay, and I'm not going to mention their name. It's kind of private. But anyways, um, so what I'm going to be doing over the next little while, over the weekend, is I'm going to be preparing the letters that I talked about for sending to your governor's office, to your legislative bodies of the state, and your federal representatives also, your state attorney general. I'm also going to be preparing the paperwork for the declaratory judgment that we're going to be asking for. Now I'm going to be putting it up on a site. I'm going to be creating the documents in a PDF format with fill in the blanks, but I'm going to do it so that you download that document onto your personal computer and then you can fill in the blanks. Okay. I don't want people uploading personal information to my website or to a website, names, addresses, those kinds of things. Okay. Um, so you would just go to this page. You would then download those documents onto your computer, fill in the spaces. I'll try to prepare a short little instructional video, and when I have these prepared next week, I'll walk everybody through them, show you what they are, why we're saying certain things that we're saying, and then we'll start that whole process. Because what we're starting to do now is we're starting to develop our record, the record of our, I guess, evidentiary record, and we're going to be doing it in such a manner that it becomes public information, public knowledge. Okay? So therefore, it is admissible in their courts. Hmm? In these courtroom settings, the traditional court that people are familiar with, when you go down to the courthouse, there's the bailiff, there's the judge, there's the recorder lady typing those things. Okay. Um, and over the next little while too, we'll start talking about courts, what they are really, um, the types of courts. There's courts of record. There's uh, different forms of. Anyways, but we'll start getting those things. So what we're going to start doing is preparing our uh, paperwork, our evidence, by asking these questions. And depending what the answers are that come back, then we can determine what our next moves are, what the next question is. Okay, so if they come back and say, yeah, the Constitution's in full force effect, then we can ask the question, but why is it that this provision isn't being honored? Hmm? If it comes back that no, it's not, well, then we can say, hey, well, what happened? Where did it go? Huh? So we're going to start boxing them back into a corner with their own information, their own actions. People, you need to understand, this is a great, big, huge, powerful regime. That's what they are. Okay, they're worldwide. Okay, this information applies around the entire planet. Law of nations is it's law. It is natural law codified and applied to sovereigns and sovereignty. Okay, every governmental organization on this planet at the national levels operates by it. Have to. Hmm? So this isn't just about me reading a few words in there and saying, oh, well, I'm going to make that work for me. No, this is fundamental law, okay? Law of the planet. That's why it's so powerful for us, okay? And we're going to move past asking permission. We're going to begin to then exert our jurisdictional authority, our law spoken, our authority spoken. The veneer that these people have established, the veil that separates them and the truth is so thin, they really don't have very many places left to go. They can't continue to hide truth, the facts. Now, I'm not about creating turmoil in the societies, breaching the peace, damaging the public tranquility. at all, which is why we don't talk about going down and protesting. We don't talk about, even right now, trying to go up to interact with our legislative bodies right now, because they're in the beginning of their legislative sessions. Uh, they won't listen to you. They have their own agenda going on, and that's fine, okay? We're in the very early stages of establishing our record properly, without presuming, without making assumptions, without reaching conclusions of law and all that nonsense that they've come up with, okay? So that's what I'm going to be working on. Um, Continue to try work on a few things now. I just got off the phone with somebody that tells me that they make short promotional type videos. So I'm going to talk to them next week and see kind of what might be able to help me produce some of this information in a better format that then is more acceptable out on the web and through the I guess the generation I'm really trying to reach to is the millennials and younger than that, because it's you people that are going to have to live in this stuff. Okay. Old guys like me, hey, our day's almost done. Okay, so I just look at that as my job, I guess, and I try to keep reminding myself that my job is to run up and smash into that brick wall as hard as I can, as many times as I can, for as long as I can, to crack it open for somebody else to step through, okay, and start impacting these, start making these changes happen for us, okay? So the entrenched system is, I guess, really what I have to keep pounding on, but doing it in the right manner. I said, and I don't want anybody to do anything that they don't feel comfortable with. Certainly don't want anybody to have to, do things that aren't proper. I'm trying to explain everything, and everybody needs to be verifying what I'm saying. That's why I try to post up some of these things of where I get this information from, but it's all coming from Law of Nations. Okay? But anyways, so that's it. I'll kind of got a few things to do, but I'm going to come back later and start talking about going back into this understanding about what these are, these naturally occurring rights that we have, because we've got to get out of that mentality, that mindset that we have constitutional rights. The Constitution gives us rights, okay? Doesn't. You give yourself rights at all times. Nature gives you rights, gives you obligations. To meet those obligations, what creates your rights to do things. We don't have to ask permission from these people. Okay? So, um, and like I said, I guess I should, clarify that. Um, our actions must be stay within the sphere, the realm of non-damage. Now, when you start dealing with societies, there's multiple numbers of people, competing interests. Okay? We have to be very careful and try to understand defining what that really is. And so when I say that, it doesn't mean you just start running around doing these things, okay? But doing these things, we can start to do these things even now if we're doing it in a proper setting. We've prepared some of the proper notices. We've established our position. Okay? Now, if we believe in our position strong enough, then it doesn't really matter. I'm just wanting to make sure that we're starting to be properly prepared, that your statements of who and what you are in your county recorder's office. You've filed it with your local courts. You have filed it with your local law enforcement agency. Now, a lot of people are afraid to do that. Okay? We're not necessarily saying specifically what we're doing. Okay? Well, anyways, I'll start explaining some of those things, hopefully a little bit better. Trying to get more focused on writing this book. Okay? But it's about empowering yourself. And in order to do that, we have to have an understanding of the system that we're operating in. So right now, that's the, I guess, the activities we're engaging in is trying to determine what is that system, what's the nature of it, what are the rules and regulations, what is the law, what's the jurisdiction that really applies. Because what you believe, what you've been told is the jurisdiction, Constitution, isn't how your government is operating. Is it? Constitution of contract. It doesn't have provisions that say, well, when it's beneficial for the government, they can do this, and when it's not beneficial to the government, they don't have to. There's no provision to suspend the Constitution in a so-called state of emergency. The only thing that might possibly be able to be limited is habeas corpus in times of real insurrection. Okay? And even then, they really don't have permission to even do that. If you understand really the concept of habeas corpus, which is one court speaking to another court and overcoming the one court's jurisdiction. Okay, that's what it is. So we'll be doing one more about that. In fact, maybe that's what I'll do later this afternoon, because it's very important for people understanding you are the court always. Okay, so love everybody. I'll come back later and we'll just keep working on this. I'll keep just keep doing what I'm doing, pounding on that wall. Okay, have a good day.